The lesson to be learned for today is don't ever wear a yellow shirt when you're doing a video report in a hotel room in front of yellow curtains. You kind of blend in like wallpaper. Hi everyone, Al DeMarco here, and this of course is going to be your Thursday video report. I've got free plays coming up in just a moment on the Colts Texans and Washington USC. Let's reflect on baseball here the past couple of days. I'll tell you what, Sandy Koufax was well before my time. Bob Gibson, the 1.12 earned run average in 1968, before my time. When they lowered the mounds, etc., because of that incredible year he had. Now, the first year that I followed baseball was 1972. And I was really, just starting to understand the game, and I was a Phillies fan, and Steve Carlton was there. And listen, for a Phillies team that only won 59 games for the season, to see Steve Carlton go 27-10 with a 1.97 earned run average and pitch, which now is an unheard of 346 innings when they baby guys at 180 now when they're 23 years old coming up from the minors, it's just amazing. And he struck out 310 batters. And of course, over the years, I remember the great shutout inning streak put together by Orel Hershiser. More recently, or in the past, I remember Jack Morris, what a bulldog he was in the postseason, won me a fortune during his heyday with the Tigers. And of course, Madison Bumgarner last year. But was there anything more than a surefire, guaranteed luck than Jake Arrieta last night at Pittsburgh? I mean, it was just too easy. I mean, listen, some of the guys here at the site had Pittsburgh last night. I had the Cubs. Anthony Redd, who, of course, was coming off the charity play winner the night before on the Astros-Yankees under. I bet against the guys here at the site. Saul Arad had the big play, made him the discounted play, just like I bet against most of the guys here at the site when picking the discounted play on Tuesday when most were on the Yankees. I rode with the Astros because I thought last night, Arrieta, I mean, what more could you ask for that guy? 0.75 earned run average second half of the season. 0.41 in his previous 12 starts going into last night's game? I mean, the guy is the most dominant pitcher in baseball, hands down right now. When you get a guy in that type of groove, and you don't even have to play him on the run line, how can you go against it? And people say, oh, pity the poor Pirates. Oh, my goodness. They got shut out by Madison Bumgarner last year. They got shut out playing at home this year by Jake Arrieta. Hey, there's a simple solution to this thing. Win the damn division. But in reality, the Pirates had plenty of holes in their lineup. All season long, it was exposed. Just like the St. Louis Cardinals have plenty of holes in their lineup. The Cubs don't have many holes. Now, normally, I'd be a little hesitant about backing the Cubs, and I'm not sure I'm going to yet in the NLDS because you sent out your ace and you fire that blank in the wild card game, and he goes distance through like 112 pitches, I think, last night. But then again, you got John Lester available to start game number 1. Not exactly chopped liver, you know what I mean? As opposed to the Houston Astros, of course, who open up tonight against Kansas City. They had to fire their big gun going with Dallas Keuchel the other night. So now they're stuck going with Colin McHugh. And in game number 2, Scott Kazmir, whose earned run average was like near 7, I think, in September. So, how can you possibly like the Astros? Hey, again, listen, my best bet on the day's card is actually the early game between the Rangers and the Blue Jays. It's a discounted play. It's a play just as strong as last night's winner on the Cubbies, just as strong as my winner on the Astros the other night. You can get it for $19. The discount coupon code is over on the homepage. The other big featured plays today, there are 2 of them. One is Matt Rivers. Only the second time this season, a top-rated 500,000 star release in the NFL. It's your Colts Texans side. It's his top-rated 500,000 star winner, number 16 out of 26 overall in all sports over the past 3 months now, because remember, he's not an everyday handicapper. It's half price off by using coupon code MATT, M-A-T-T. And Chris Jordan. Let us not forget Chris Jordan, because today, top-rated 1,000 star winner on the Pac-12 Game of the Year selection on Washington and USC. You save $75 as he goes for winning day number 8 out of 10. Over the past 9 days, he's made $1 bettors over $7,800. You get it, $75 savings simply by using his first name, Chris, C-H-R-I-S. Keep in mind, 1,000 star plays or higher. His top-rated selections, 1,000 star plays or higher. $1 bettors in all sports since 2006 have won over $98,000. $100,000. Listen, guys, charity play of the week. I posted it yesterday. It was a winner thanks to Anthony Red 2 nights ago. And if you didn't get the information, let me just relate a story that was related to me by a customer here at the site who wrote in about a young 18-year-old boy who tragically passed away a couple of weeks ago, leaving his grieving mother with burial and funeral expenses, and asked if I would consider using it as a featured play here. Well, absolutely, because remember, this guy is one of us. He's one of us. He's a customer here at the site. Now, that doesn't make him better or worse than any of the other charity play recipients or cases that I presented to you, but he wrote in, and I thought the least I could do is relate their plight to you. So again, this mother, they're looking to defray some of the funeral and burial costs for her son who passed away at the age of 18 just a few weeks ago. If you can make a donation, I would certainly appreciate it. Since you got that $99 play from A-Red, absolutely free, the 21st time in 32 weeks the charity play cashed in as the Astros and the Yankees stayed under. I don't care if you give $5. I don't care if you give $50. It could be anything in between. You'll see the first donation on the page is my $250. So click on the link if you happen to be watching this video on my home page. All the information is down below. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, etc. And also, just a note to you guys. If you ever come across situations where you'd like to pass on a fundraising opportunity that I can promote here on the site, the only stipulation is that some sites and some charity play solicitation sites don't offer PayPal as an option. That's an issue because, listen, here at the site, about 30% of you guys use PayPal rather than credit cards. Okay, so if I use a charity fundraising site that doesn't have PayPal, I never do that because it would eliminate a good 30% of you from making donations, and that kind of ruins the whole concept of creating a community of caregivers, if you know what I mean. But if you do run across them, please feel free to send them to customer service, and if I can help out, I certainly will, because together, as I said, we've created this community of caregivers that probably, I would estimate, has easily raised over $300,000 in the 4 years that I've been running this program. Now, of course, I'm not below bribing you. Remember, when the charity play wins, I give you an option to save $125 off the purchase price of any Handicappers 30-day package here at the site. Nothing's changed here. SAVE125 is that coupon code. SAVE125. Save $125 off the purchase price of any Handicappers 30-day package. Doesn't have to be Anthony Red since he went for you for free. Remember, if you happen to already be in the midst of a long-term package, you, let's say, have 12 days left of a 30-day package. You want to extend it another 30 days. You take $125 off the top using the coupon SAVE125. And if you have any instant rebates, they are applicable as well. Or this is a great time to take advantage of the Save $50 coupon offer on any 7-day Handicappers package. That means you'll get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday football. You can save $50 off the top. Use coupon code SAVE50. Why do I bribe you? Because I figure if I give you a free winner and then I give you the ability to save even more money, you'll dig into your pockets just a little further and make a donation. And that's all I really ask of you. Okay, let's talk about these plays here tonight. As I said, my best bet today is in baseball. I think the Colts-Texans game, however, is a very interesting contest. You know, at about 9:30 this morning, the ruse that Andrew Luck was going to play tonight was finally dispelled with, so it's going to be Matt Hasselbeck for a second straight game. The Houston Texans returning home after an absolutely horrendous performance of Atlanta. Don't look at the final score. Look at the fact that they were down 42-0 in that game in the third quarter. It marked the return of Arian Foster, rather ineffective, fumbled on one of his early carries. He had 8 carries in the contest for 10 yards total. One of those fumbles, I think, was returned for a touchdown. But I got to think that they're going to come out and look to establish the run here tonight in this game. I think that this is a particular contest that if I knew with 100% certainty who the quarterback would be for the Texans, I'd probably go ahead and bet on Houston. Ryan Mallett has been, awful. Just awful. The guy constantly overthrows receivers. He only has 3 interceptions in the time that he's played, but it doesn't reflect in the stats. His lousy quarterback rating, his inefficiency on the field, the fact that he can't hit the open receivers. Brian Hoyer, I thought, got short shrift there, being benched after the first game. He came off in garbage time last week and directed 3 quick touchdown drives in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, his overall numbers here, 17 for 30, 232 yards. I think that for the Houston Texans to do anything this season, they've got to make a commitment to Hoyer. Mallett is not your guy. I know he sat behind Tom Brady, as did Hoyer at one time in New England when Bill O'Brien, the Texans head coach, was offensive coordinator up there. But I just don't see it happening. But I also don't see this Indianapolis Colts team getting the job done here tonight. I mean, you needed a fourth-quarter rally to win at Tennessee. You lost at Buffalo. You were damn lucky that the Jacksonville field goal kicker missed a couple last week at home, barely escaping with the 16-13 win, a game that was quarterbacked by Hasselbeck. The offensive line, you know, there's some reports of strife between head coach Chuck Pagano and Ron Gregson, the general manager, because Gregson hasn't done a good job in terms of bringing in the personnel to rebuild that offensive line. None of his moves have really paid off. The addition of Frank Gore hasn't paid off because there's been no running holes. The pass protection has been average at best. You got a Colts team that doesn't particularly rush opposing quarterbacks well either, so whether it's Hoyer or, unfortunately, perhaps Mallett, you should be able to see the Texans get going here. But I think really the key in this game, Aaron Foster. Listen, he's one of these workhorse backs. You know, it's like after I said in week number 2 about Adrian Peterson when they only ran him 10 times at San Francisco in the Monday night season opening loss. You got to figure he's going to get 25, 30 touches from this point forward. That's exactly what the Vikings did, and boom, they reel off 2 straight wins and then barely lose at Denver. I'm not saying Houston is as good as Minnesota, but I think the game plan's got to be the exact same thing. You've got to give Arian Foster the ball, let him run it 20 to 25 times, and then look to build the rest of your offense around it. J.J. Watt's got to come up with a big game here against Hasselbeck, who has not been 100% healthy either this week. So I like Houston in this particular game. Now, keep in mind that underdogs are 31, 29, and 4 against the spread on the season. 23 of those pups winning outright. Last week, of course, we had the favorite with Baltimore getting the overtime win and cover if you bought the half-point down on the Ravens, or you got the half-point cover with the Steelers if you bought it up. With tonight's game being 4.5 to 4 points, absolutely I would buy down the half-point on the Houston Texans in this case. Southern Cal is taking on Washington tonight in Pac-12 action. The Trojans are a 17-point favorite in this game. They've been idle since blowing out Arizona State September 26th at home, 42-14. That's the same Arizona State team that just upset and dominated against UCLA this past Saturday. Their prior home game this season, well, they lost 41-31 to Stanford as a 9.5-point favorite, but I do believe Stanford is the best team along with Utah in the Pac-12. 31 points they scored against a good Stanford defense. That's the lowest points or the lowest offensive output for Southern Cal this season. Meanwhile, the Huskies are coming off a 30-24 home loss to California. I know that they have a good defense, but it's their offense that is sputtering. With the freshman quarterback who was turnover prone, their only other road game this season, they lost 16-13 in their season opener at Boise. I know it's a big number, but when you're looking at the team that has the offensive firepower that Southern Cal has, even though they have not run the ball effectively this season, playing at home, I got to go ahead and lay the points with the Trojans in that one. So Southern Cal and the Houston Texans are going to be the 2 complementary plays. Don't really have a thought at all about the Kansas City-Houston series. It's just not one I'll probably even touch, not one bit. As I said, the pitching rotations in that one don't exactly do anything, even for game number 1 tonight. Colin McHugh may have won 19 games, but I'm sorry. I'm just not impressed with him, and I'm certainly not going to venture any more money on Kansas City's Ventura, who has been so inconsistent this season. Well, that'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and we will do this again one more time on Friday as another football weekend is upon us.